Good morning, everybody. How we doing? How we feeling? It is Monday morning. Got a fresh week ahead of us. Let's hope we get some follow through in this market this week. So far, things are looking bullish. All right. So let's get right into it. Let me reset myself from all my pre-market routine stuff and look at this insight. All right, on the calendar today we have existing home sales at 10. Tomorrow we have the new home sales, and then Wednesday we have core durable goods. Powell is supposed to be speaking at 10, and then crude oil inventories at 10:30. We have GDP and initial jobless claims on Thursday, and then Friday, tentative the U.S. federal budget. All right, so pretty much a normal week other than Wednesday. We'll see what Powell is talking about. Go ahead and move on over to the NQ power range report. We got a high of 12,845.5 with a low of 12,789.5. When I posted this, we were trading long, up 0.69% with a volume of 101K with an ATR of 335.31. All right, to see how that played out overnight. I sip me a little bit of tea. Alright, so we just kind of been stair-stepping our way higher overnight. Nothing super exciting to see, but decent price action. A little choppy, so we'll see how that translates into the open. Alright, so let's go ahead and look at ES. We already looked at NQ. Pretty much the same thing. Of course, they're going to have similar price action. Dip down to PR 50, 50% of the power range. Let's see. On the daily, we're at a good place of support. Finding some decent support at this pivot. Pretty sure the Dow, let me look at the Dow, look at YM. Now, most of these I set them up, I set the power range levels up last night, but since I don't trade them, I don't give a whole lot of attention to it. So almost the same kind of price action with YM. It's just we traded bearish first a little bit before we found some support, and we are continuing to climb higher. Well, from an intraday perspective. But YM is slightly more bullish than the other indices. All right, let's go ahead and look at gold. A lot of selling pressure in gold. Kind of hanging out between -1 and 2 from the power range levels. At an interesting spot from a long-term perspective, looking at the daily. Just watch that and see what's going to happen. Like short term, super short term, looks like we're trying to go back higher. We're trying to turn bullish. And then the crude, you see. Pretty much trading sideways, slightly bullish at this point. Trading inside the power range. Peaked below a couple times, the power range low, and failed. So, typical volatile price action with crude oil are seeing more buying on the board than selling. And I just realized I was looking at the wrong chart for GC, which is still not a whole lot exciting to see with GC from a daily perspective. But what I was just looking at was the crude oil inventory. The crude oil daily chart. And yeah. So it makes sense from looks like we have found some support down here at 59. And we're working on, climbing back bullish, but we do have to take out this significant daily candle right here that's from the 18th. And last but not least, the euro currencies. A lot of buying on the table. Experiencing some consolidation at this point, and we are bullish. Holding the support right here on the 200 SMA. So overall across the board, we look, mostly bullish with the exception of GC. GC has been having a hard time, going higher lately. It doesn't look like there's a lot of interest in gold at this point. All right, so far this year. All right, so we got about 4 minutes, about 3 minutes to the bell. Let me go ahead and get my pre-market snapshot and get set up for the open. Got a kind of a different layout this morning, or starting this week. As I mentioned last week, I think I'm gonna start, trading ES. So I'm going through the testing phase in that this week, just to make sure I got everything set up correctly and to see how trading multiple things works out for me. Of course, my main focus is still the Leeloo. So if it's gonna I gotta pretty much train myself, because I do want to get back into trading ES. So I gotta train myself to trade multiple things at one time. But I definitely don't want to take the attention away from what I'm doing with Leeloo. All right. Alright, run through my checklist one more time. Let's see. Remind myself the only goal is to trade the strategy to perfection. No orders after 10:15. $100 or more, I'm done for the day. Slowly building this account and always see the big picture. Alright, did all of that stuff. And we are ready. Just realized I need to change my lock fill space. What was that? It was the wrong one. Tried to make sure everything was good to go with this new layout before over the weekend, but of course there's always something that I'm gonna miss out on. All right, let's see. First 3 minutes I got about 2 minutes before I can start taking any trades. What's going on, Craft? Is it true that your withdrawals are capped on Leeloo? For example, if you made 10,000, so it's like capped for the first, like, it's been a while since I looked at it, but it's only capped for like the first 6 months or something like that. Don't quote me on that. It's more detailed than that, but it's only capped in the beginning. And then eventually you'll be able to just take as much as you want, but you got to leave a certain amount in the account, of course. And I know from other people's experience that as long as you got the money in there, you can take it out, and keeping in mind that you got to have enough to support your drawdown left in the account. There you go. First 4 payments are capped for investor. All right, we got a lot of bullish momentum coming in at the open. Yeah. So on this round, I made it a point not to even focus on that stuff, because that's kind of was playing in my head the last time I did a performance account. I was thinking about making the withdrawal. So on this round, I made it a point not to even focus on it. This one, that's why I don't remember, exactly what their rules are in terms of taking money out. I'm missing the screen. Well, not really. I don't need that screen. Alright, so yeah, let me take the pullback if we can get it. I don't think the pullback's gonna come back that far though. A little aggressive on this first trade. Just playing the momentum. ES kind of has a slightly different story to it, which is interesting. They don't have to trade exactly the same. Just keep that in mind. Let's see if we can stop doing this thing this week where I had my order like 1 to like 4 ticks or whatever away from where the price turned around. That has happened quicker than I expected. I already hit my first target and break even. See if we can find some follow through in this price action and get the screenshot. Oh, well, took me out already. I don't think I could have played that any better than that. Let's see if it. Let's see what my entry. Well, look at that. Chopped me out before it made its move. Very unfortunate, but it is what it is. All right, so moving on to the next one. You know, it's good to have amnesia in this market. In trading, period. I get, you know, emotionally tied up into a bad trade or market conditions. So this looks like we still not having any real follow through. Continuing the chop from last week, or from pretty much all of March. Been very interesting order flow. This man just passed the top step combine and trying to see if Leeloo is worth a shot in case I make a mistake. How's that top step going? I get a lot of mixed feelings about top step. Just hearing other people talk about it. I'm definitely interested to hear about your journey with Top Step. All right, let me see. Oh. But ES, I gotta remember to mostly put my attention to the structure from what I've been looking at in terms of, my entry locations. $39.04. 25 would have been a good a good place to enter into a trade. We also had volume support there. Got a few more things I need to clean up with this new layout. This is why, if I'm doing something different, I don't jump right into it. I make sure I test it out first. Yeah, I don't want to trade. I only want to trade from these two at the top. What am I looking at? I thought I set all this up. I did all this last night, but I guess I missed a few things. All right. Still just chopping around. Like we found still got a little bit of support down here and all of this noise. I do have my eye on 928.75. Just looking at structure and the volume profile. 918. Nothing really like it looks exciting. Like just stands out to me at this point. Just with looking at the price action. Let's see if we can. I kind of don't expect it to trade down there, but anything is possible. And looking at this price action, it could definitely trade down to those levels. ES is slowly chopping higher. I've seen a lot of buying on both on the board. Got an extra window that I don't need. All right. I got a few distractions this morning trying to make sure this layout is set up. So that may be my only trade for this morning, and I don't have a problem with that personally. Not quite at my $100 threshold yet, but that's okay. So that support at 960 is holding up pretty well so far, but we are seeing this battle zone in this range. That open bar was pretty strong, so we don't have any evidence that we're gonna trade lower as of yet. We're just kind of fighting it out right now. Back above our key level of 958. Last week we spent about 3 days below that key level, and now we're retesting it. If we end up breaking out of this range, it would be nice to see some follow through. I'm not going to trade the breakout, but if it happens, but it would be nice to finally see some follow through, this year, this month. Haven't seen any follow through in a while. Appreciate that, Oregon. Worked on some new stuff over the weekend, so just got to put stuff together. Actually, I didn't. I had more screen time planned this weekend. Over the weekend, I was supposed to do like a practice session, an extended practice session. I did practice and give my chart some attention, but it's kind of in a creative spot over the weekend. So I worked on. I had this idea in my head that I had to get out. Spent most of the weekend working on that, other than other projects and stuff. All right, so we're trying to break now. Let's see if we can get some, if we can actually break and get some follow through. Yes, it's slowly chopping higher. Go ahead and kill that. I think it's gonna be the toughest part of trying to trade both things is remembering to look at both screens and not forgetting about ES. I do that. I've been trying to test trading with Sierra chart and Leeloo, Sierra chart and multi charts at the same time, and a lot of times I forget to look at my Sierra chart screen. So I think that's going to be my biggest, challenge. Not getting tunnel vision just on one platform. Alright, so there's the break. Come on, follow through. Like right there, I was supposed to move my target right there. Let's move it here. The target was supposed to be tighter than that. So I just played the next level. Put essential data on each platform, so you have to look at to confirm your action. That's a good idea. Right now I kind of have my essential data spread out on both monitors. So if I just keep that on Sierra, the monitor that I have on Sierra, that'll remind me to keep looking over there. I kind of did have that idea last night. Well, something like that, not exactly that, where I just only look at multi-charts just for trading only, but do my analysis on Sierra. From just talking about the monitors, not necessarily the platform, because I got Sierra windows spread out all over. Alright, so it looks like we're getting a little follow through. We got some wholesale participation coming back into the market. according to how I played it in Sierra, it would have paid to be a little bit more, um, not so aggressive this morning. With my initial entry. Just putting, verbal energy to what I'm witnessing. Not saying that I did anything wrong or right, just interacting with what I'm seeing, the price action, and how I responded to everything. And in 3 minutes, we do have an economic event, even though I'm not expecting anything drastic to come from that. What was it? Some kind of home sales thing. Yeah, existing home sales at 10. I'm not expecting that to have a whole lot of effect on the price action, but we shall see it. We shall see it how that worketh. So if I was looking at another trade here, I could aggressively play the +3. Which, looks like with price action and structure, doesn't look like that would be a bad idea. We got support from both of those to take another aggressive play if it even trades down that low. Just playing the retest. Looks like we're trying to take price higher. That gave us our target and Sierra chart. Alright, so while I was watching that, I did see a sudden spike of volume coming at 1305. 13,005. Alright, sellers are coming in and coming in pretty strong, coming in pretty hot, taking the price back lower, back to that level. Finding more buyers. Let's see if they can push through. I'll be looking at how we respond to the +3 level. So this little hindsight capital at the open, we can see we built a position down here. Those that we're just going to call it those that move the markets, they built a position down here until around like 950-ish, and then they took that inventory higher and then they sold it off up here, you know, where we're at right now. So now what I'm looking for is to see if they build a new position, or if they got more to sell up here, and just to see how we respond to this range that we just now created. That level that we broke out, the +3. The fact that we are finding some buying down here does give us a range, which hasn't necessarily been confirmed yet, but we'll see over the next couple of minutes. What price action tells us. selling on the board, but I am seeing some. We did find support at +3. But we still have some sell-off, some selling going on. It's actually got more sellers coming into the market, or at this in this range. A lot of that was nice little last minute spike. A lot of interest in the 13,000 level. It's an even number, so we can definitely expect to see some reaction to those whole numbers. Again, another hindsight capital. The fact that we got I had a lot of reasons to take the +3 level. The fact that, that is one of my key levels. And then we had structure support down there. We also had volume profile. And then the fact that it's just a whole number. So we had several things that would have gave us quote unquote confirmation that would have been a decent level to take an aggressive play on. It's like ES is not going to give me a chance to take anything on it in this morning session. Need to figure out a way that I can make this angle that I have, like how I'm looking at my monitor, it makes it hard to see the volume profile over here. So I need to also work on making this pop out a little bit more. It's clear over here where I have my highlighted background that represents the New York Stock Exchange hours. I got a couple things I need to work on after today's session. I can barely see the volume profile with this angle that I'm looking at my monitor. So we're staying true to this. So we are building we're either selling off this inventory that we collected down there, or are we building a new position? Our value area is still below this range, of course, because most of the trading happened down here pre-market and overnight. like I moved my fib levels. This is just a test, so it's fine. I feel like the low of that range has been tested several times already. Doesn't mean it can't keep testing it and bouncing off of it. See how many more times we can we can bounce off the +3. I feel like it did it too many times already. We'll see. That's why I didn't take it in the Leeloo account. Just so we get the full experience. But this is so I get all the numbers. I'm looking for the numbers here. This is why we test. Alright, so that ES finally got a feel in ES. Now, how I got the targets and the break even and all that stuff, with ES I'm not looking for any major moves. I'm just looking for to get a few points. So another reason why I do testing is for data collection, just to see, compared to or with my strategy, how the trading responds to my strategy. That makes sense. I'm looking to see from my entry how far, what's the average move away from my entry, and from a profit perspective, also a stop loss perspective. So, and to see how effective my strategy may or may not be with what I'm, the way that I see it, the way that I play it. So really, I'm just looking to get the numbers, and then I can see if I want to make any adjustments or if I want to just stick with what I got. So my targets in practice mode or in testing mode, I keep the targets pretty wide, just so I can get as much data as I can possibly get. Then I see what the averages are, and then I'll adjust accordingly. I will also do that with stop losses from time to time. But I look at my stop loss. The way that I come up with that is I do it from a lot of historical data, and it's based off of pretty much the personality of whatever I'm trading. And I usually end up adjusting it to what to how we're trading, or how that whatever I'm trading, how it's trading that day. I don't necessarily like to have like just hard stop losses that's the same all the time. I like the stop loss to fit the market conditions. I found that to be more effective for the way that I trade in my strategy anyway. I know some people like hard stop losses. They got the same stop loss every single time. And I did that before, but just comparing my experience from that time to now, I found it to be more efficient to adjust my stop loss to the current market condition. And we are already outside of my no trade window, so that one trade is my one and only trade of the day. And since I have some things to fix with this new layout in Sierra chart, I took it back on the aggressiveness in terms of taking more trades, because I wasn't as focused as I should have been, because I'm fixing things that I missed over the weekend. So green is green, so that's a positive. No complaints on my end. It's still kind of choppy. Don't like we have any real follow through. So this just looks like business of the market maker. What some would call the business side of trading. And with all that being said, I'm going to go ahead and close up the shop for the day. Looks like we're staying true to this range. Anyway, I appreciate everybody for coming through, trading with me, hanging out with me. Hope you have a good rest of your day, and I'll see you Wednesday. Trade it easy.